What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today is a different one. I haven't had or reviewed this kind of figure ever. So this is the Spider-Man Deluxe version from Spider-Man Far From Home or Homecoming. No, it's Homecoming special edition quarter scale. So this is my first quarter scale, and as you can see, the box is massive. Just a quick comparison here to the Joker from Suicide Squad. Not just the height, but the width. So it feels like I purchased it is a quarter scale, like a quarter scale statue. But you know, statues are naturally bigger because they're posed. They're kind of like dynamic, but so that's how I feel about. Look at this box right here. This is just insane. If you don't have the space for this, not only for the figure itself, but the box. I mean, you know what to expect here. So, but I can tell you right now, I am super amazed by this figure. This might not be my last quarter scale. Now, the biggest drawback to me between the quarter scale is obviously the price. The size, I can probably make up for it, by selling a few 1/6, maybe a couple or three. It's just the overall feel of this quarter scale is just impressive, in my opinion. So this guy is massive, and as you see here, it's a Spider-Man Deluxe. I can't even fit him on the table. That's why you see everything else here on the floor. See, this is how he is. It feels like a DX figure. He got this foam and 2 layers of foam, as a matter of fact, and you got this massive head sculpt. Again, it feels like you're holding a quarter scale, a premium format in here. Look at that head sculpt. I think it's beautiful. But it's not perfect, but I think it's beautiful. And the hands are massive. I've never owned any quarter scale Hot Toys yet, so this is all new to me. So this is pretty exciting for me. And I would apologize in advance because this is a long video, and not only because of there's so much to cover when it comes to this Spider-Man. It comes with tons of accessories, and not only that, I think I spent way too much time on the biggest part of this figure, which is the base. As you can see here, look at all the accessories it comes with. If you thought that the Spider-Man, let's say upgraded suit, comes with a lot, I mean, you gotta see this guy right here. It is just loaded, and so many layers of accessories here. You already know this is the wing of Scavenger, Vulture, which is pretty awesome. You can see that there. They teased this, and people lost their minds. They thought we're getting Vulture like in 1/6 form, but it's just a base for quarter scale, which is I'm not mad about. I'm not mad at all. I mean, I'll take it any day of the week. But as you take a look at here, so the wings are surprisingly different. It is just, I don't know, kind of soft goods compared to the plastic one that came with 1/6. And you got some hands in here. Nice detail, and you can feel the texture on the it doesn't have any fabric on it, but you can feel the texture on the rubber, which is pretty amazing. It comes with all the familiar hands with Spider-Man. You can see the cell phone here has a lot of details. Even on the screen, you can see Ned in the background, because the real estate is big, so they can actually put more details into things. So generally, you can see the buttons. Although I would say the buttons are present in 1/6 as well. It's just harder to appreciate them because they are smaller. And you see this drone, spider drone right here, and you see here you can kind of interchange his chest piece. So you can swap it out between this. It is scary at first, I'm not gonna lie, but once you pop it out, I mean, you know what to do next. And going in here, you see the hologram that comes in his. I haven't seen Homecoming in a while. However, I kind of remember this is kind of goes into his like a web shooter or so, kind of like a holographic. So it kind of reminds me of the Predator from the classic one, but this one does not light up though. That one does, and so that's makes it more amazing. That's older figure as well. And this is the special edition that it comes with this kind of like paneling again on his web shooter. It comes out kind of like a computer of some sort. It's a tech suit for Tony Stark anyway. In my opinion, if you're gonna pay more for that, it's not worth it. It's just me. I don't think it's worth, if that is the deciding factor, I won't pay that at all. And you see the eyes, it's pretty much the same eyes as the 1/6 scale, and the empty mask that you want him to hold, just in case you switch it out to the Peter Parker head sculpt, and then he's holding his mask. And the backpack that he does have, it is pretty nice. It's cool, nicely done right there. And it feels, I mean, it's bigger obviously, but it feels just durable at all. Like all these, it feels like a mini backpack, because it's somewhat on the larger scale now. So the pockets, everything just feels sturdy when it's quarter scale. And you get these webs, which are massive. So my next course of action here, and you see all those webs, you can actually connect two webs. I don't know why you would do that, but you could. Is to compare the 1/6 to quarter scale. Maybe not on this video. This video is already too long as it is. And I think it's because I spent way too much time in here. And we'll take a look here. I'm trying to assemble this thing. So there's that fly swatter kind of thing, or that I see this all the time when I go to Menards, like to pick up stuff. Yeah, those are the things. And you can see there's some just pegs in here, and then you just kind of key it in. There's no magnets. It's just, yeah, the thing is you can interchange them. So that's the beautiful thing about this base. And this base, one thing that drew me into this is I feel like, because I don't have any plans on posting this quarter scale. It's just too much work. But this would work for my 1/6 scale. So it has like 4 configurations, maybe 5. So this is the first one. Pretty simple. If you don't buy the deluxe version, this is kind of like what you're gonna get, which is not bad at all. It's still a pretty cool looking base. It's not as massive as if it has the wings. So that's the first option. The second option is you can put this on the back and make it a little bit more, more unique, more like things to put in there. I think the bigger the base is, the better. It kind of reminds me of Prime 1. But this is the second configuration. You can do a lot of things. So this one, you can move around there, or the wings. It's really up to you. So that's the beautiful part, is you got options when you are assembling this. Now, for me, I think I'll go with option C, the one right after this. But you can see here, I'm just kind of like putting this together. And it's, again, there's really no right or wrong way. You can put this on top right there, or put it at the bottom. It is really up to you. And even at this, I think it already looks great. So if you have the 1/6 scale Spider-Man, you can kind of position him kind of like climbing up these walls. So that would be a pretty cool look. And the next version, I think it's version C. The version C, I'm not even going to put in there, but this is my favorite one, which is you take out this little piece, and it will kind of like a bridge, so to speak. So you just made your base a bit larger here. So you put this other piece. This is the one in the back earlier. So there's so many functions for this base, and I like this. Look at this look right here. It has created a second layer, like a second floor for the base, and you get this massive piece of Vulture's wing and put him on the back. And now you got this nice massive display, and you could get that wing again at the bottom. And if you want to, this is purely optional. You can put him on the top. For now, I put him on the bottom. But when I went to my display, I have limited space, so I gotta put him on the top so it doesn't, collide with some of the figures that I put right next to it. But you can kind of tell right here, it's the Vulture's wings is not even done yet. The sheer amount of size of this guy just makes it so impressive. I am excited for the future of quarter scale, because they just teased Dark Knight with that beautiful base that he does have. Now, if it doesn't have a beautiful base, it takes away, in my opinion, the statue feel to it. Now, I'm not saying that this would replace statue, because statue is a different beast by itself. But, with the price wise, it might, for me at least, it might. Because the thing with this is I could use the bases. In statue, I suppose I could. I guess I could take out the statue itself and post 1/6 scale figure in it. But it seems like just a lot of work. And this is the final configuration here for that base. And again, I love this. This is the main selling point for me, not a figure itself. That figure itself, it feels like just a Spider-Man that you made it bigger. This by itself, I feel like this is worth, the base itself is worth $200. I mean, it lights up. I'll show you the light up functionality as well. Look at all those details that's in it. I mean, we've seen some diorama base with no light up function from a third-party company go for 140. I guess it's resin, whatever, but if that's 140, this is at least 150. 150 easily from Hot Toys. They can charge 150 for this. Look at this beautiful thing right here. And you see that it lights up from the bottom. It has two functions. I believe this is function 1, like you put so there's 3 options you can put off. Obviously it's off. This is like on 1, I believe. The on to it kind of pulsates. And look at that. There's like and then you could choose between battery, or they supplied an AC, kind of like an AC adapter sort of thing, but it's in USB. So look at that. Look at how bright those lights are on the side. I didn't even know at first they do light up, because I had no intentions of picking up this quarter scale, because of mainly, I always thought that it's too big. I have no space for it. The price is a little, expensive. The good news is I don't have a Spider-Man in this look. I do have the upgraded suit, Night Monkey, and the homemade suit. This one I did trade in for, I got the 1/6 version of this. I think this is the tech suit or whatever the case is. I traded this in for Cap and Luke Skywalker, the old man Luke. So I think I won that trade. I feel like, at least. And this is Vulture's. That kind of moves around too, like those wings right there. And look at that. Just plain beautiful. And I keep on saying, one mistake I did here. And look at that. That pulsates right there. I think that's the option 2. And I display this in the back. If you watch my live stream, I have my Hall of Armor in my back, but this would be in the back as well. You might not notice the light functionality, but it's cool. It's there. And as far as the figure itself, again, this is like secondary to me, but again, it's still pretty impressive. All those it has ratcheted joints. The fabric that they use, or the rubber, just feels thicker. It just feels stronger. I don't know why. I just have that, because I did own the 1/6 version of this, and you see the chest piece that he does have there. You could take it in and out. Initially, it feels like you're gonna break them. It doesn't have any magnets whatsoever. You just kind of brave yourself in and take it out and replace it. This is the standard one. I included the one, but you just kind of pry it out. Do it slowly. Take it out on all angles. I doubt you're gonna break the tab though, because it's pretty thick. So I doubt it. It is scary at first though. So this is made out of 2 layers. The red part, as you can tell right here from the arms, it is kind of like fabric. The blue part is more like rubber, stretchy rubber that kind of heals itself. Because I did leave him on a pose for a day and a half. And once I took him out of that pose, as you know, it would leave some creases, some marks. But I went back to it and inspected it, and it's now gone. Granting it's not a super dynamic pose, but it did fold some of the seams in there. So just keep on a warning. If you are going to get this guy, I don't know if you want to pose him in a dynamic pose for a long time, because you are putting it at risk to have those creases and whatnot. But again, from the touch, just the touch, it just feels good. The stitching is quality. Everything else just feels quality when it comes to this figure. Going back down here, you see his arms, his belt out there. Nice, just plain nice figure in here. Going up to the neck area, and look at that symbol on his back. The stitching itself, because you have a bigger canvas here, so you can just imagine that everything else would be more refined, so to speak, and more detailed. And going back down, you see those cartridges on his belt area. They're not removable, by the way, but they are part of the suit, so you can't touch them. It does move around though. And going back down here, again, the suit that they put here, you can pose him around, really. It's up to you on how far you want to push him. And I don't know if this is the case in 1/6. I already forgot, but the seam on is kind of like on the top of the head compared to my old Spider-Man's, which is, it runs all the way back to the front, which is could be an eyesore, but not in this case. And again, I think they nailed this mask. It's just beautiful moving around here. And then they wrapped it around. It's fabric as well, so it is beautiful. It's the same fabric that they gave us for the empty mask. And the eyes, I think on the first one, maybe I'm talking about Deadpool here, I don't know, but I felt like the first one was not magnet. Correct me if I'm wrong here. It's kind of like just tabs that you put in. Or maybe I'm talking about the homemade suit. Let me know in the comments. I could be wrong, but this is purely magnet. You just take it out. And one technique that I always use, because it doesn't have those kind of key, so you push it in the front, and typically when you kind of just push it just gently, the tip of the top part of the mask would kind of separate from the mask itself. That would leave you with a pirate looking spider here, and you just push it, and that looks phenomenal in my opinion. There you go. And you just push it out. The tab would kind of like separate itself, and that's it. And then I'll show you guys a different type of eyes that he does have. This is kind of like the squinting eyes. I think this is the smallest one. This is kind of larger squinting eyes. And then you got the one that's included right away is kind of like the medium size eyes. He still has the large, eyes that kind of reminds me of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I love that costume, man. I hope we see that again in the new movie. And the what do you call this? The kill mode eyes, which is pretty cool. Love that. I don't have that on the upgraded one. And this is the head sculpt. No, it's not. But this is the, I thought I kind of like lined it up perfectly, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm going to do a comparison of this head sculpt to the 1/6 version. Again, I knew this was going to run long, so I didn't want to do that. Plus, I already made up my mind. I'm going to do a comparison video anyway. So I'm going to do a side-by-side. But here, you saw the transition. I thought it was pretty good. This head sculpt is, well, even on the 1/6, I think they nailed it. Now, there's a few differences here. Mainly the from the forehead down to the nose, I think they nailed them. The mouth, I have a little bit of a reservation for. It seems like he has something inside his mouth. So that kind of threw me off. But other than that, I think they did a pretty good job on the head sculpt. Obviously, this is bigger as well. It doesn't, this video, I hope it doesn't do justice on how good it is. Like the paint application, how lifelike this head sculpt is. And this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of excited for quarter scale now. I'm not gonna lie. The price is the price. It's like two Hot Toys, but it does have a different presence. I'm not gonna lie. And you can take him out. You can change the pose, and you could interchange the base. Wow. And here he is. You can see that head. It tilts up and down. It has a separate head sculpt right there. So from the neck, so you could do all sorts of things. The only downside is that, when he takes off his mask, you got that neck piece that is not supposed to be there. But it's still pretty cool. You can see the elbows can, bend pretty tight right there, 90 degrees. You can raise the arm if you want to. Everything here is ratcheted. So it would hold the pose. But it's also a bit, cringy. Anytime that I move him, I feel like I'm gonna break something, and you don't want to, because this is really expensive. So just be careful. I mean, if you are a renegade and want to pose him all over the place, it is up to you. But for me, I have no intentions whatsoever on putting this in a dynamic pose. He just needs to stand there like a museum pose, and then I'll let my 1/6 scale Spider-Man do all the posing. He just needs to look awesome, which he is. And as you can see, the body proportions is just beautiful in this figure. So we'll put him in a different pose here before we actually wrap this thing up. We are at the 20-minute mark now. And here he is using his cell phone, holding his mask, and with his backpack. So you can pose him like this. Look at that head sculpt. He's on top of a building. You see the sun, catching some light streaks behind him on the camera. Beautiful, beautiful head sculpt with that phone right there. Man, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this quarter scale things, man. Let me know in the comments down below if any quarter scale has really tempted you lately, because I did review the Joker quarter scale, and I wasn't too thrilled about it. So my excitement for quarter scale at that time just disappeared. Came back with this guy. Wow. And this is him. This is my attempt on a dynamic pose for a quarter scale. I'm sure you can push him a lot more than what I did here. I am just being, very cautious in terms of posing him. And look how big this thing is. You see me exceeding my review table there just to show you the full length of this guy. He is shooting some webs. Just beautiful. Pretty beautiful piece, man. And that waist grabber too. I'm a bit afraid of that over time. It does damage to the 1/6, much more so in a quarter scale, and I feel like it doesn't grip it fully, because the waist is a little bit larger than a 1/6 scale, so it doesn't completely close. So again, you gotta be careful. They gotta get some tips from Star Ace, really, from that Joker, the one that they released. It would have been perfect for this guy. Although I would say it's gonna be hard to hide that plate on his back, but here he is, like holding up on the wing, and yeah, I'm not gonna change this base, man. This base is amazing. Look at that. It just adds so much character into your display. It just it just pops, compared to those boring bases that we get from the 1/6 scale. With that, I'm telling you, man, even that Joker, the quarter scale Joker, has a pretty boring base. But this next Batman quarter scale, ooh, Oh, by the way, this is the special edition. You can see in his forearm, and the holographic, I don't know, is that the area? Again, I forgot the movie. It's been a while. So he's scouting the area here. He's inside this warehouse. There's a lot of dust, as you can see. It's flowing in the air. But yeah, he is checking his perimeter. So make sure before he gets in. And this is him with a wing. So I just want to showcase to you this guy's. He should be like jumping down or whatever. But yeah, you can spread his arms, kind of extended out there with those wings. And I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, they're not plastic, so it's easier to remove and attach them as well, in my opinion. So that's a nice touch. And circling down right here, and yeah, he's in New York. He just flying in the air there. So there you go, guys. This is the quarter scale Spider-Man figure from Hot Toys. This is the deluxe version. I think you gotta go deluxe. The extra pieces on the background on his base is so much worth it. One of the main reasons why I bought this figure is mainly the base. Because this is just like a Hot Toys that grew. All right. So if you are impressed with the 1/6, you're gonna be impressed with this one. What the 1/6 doesn't do is this presence that it does have. Because once you put him on your table, on your display cabinet, he just stands out because he's just big. It's massive, especially with that base. So he does, command some presence, as you can see here. Even him, just a museum post. That's most likely where I'm gonna put him on my table, and just impressive at all. So, but you gotta have the space. So before you jump into one, you gotta have the space and also the funds, because it is quite expensive. So you just gotta keep that in mind. Also, you gotta keep this box. So that's another you have a storage for this box. But other than that, the proportions are great. I think the head sculpt is fantastic. You can't go wrong with the accessories. The posability is always there. I just don't want to use it. So I fully support this quarter scale by Hot Toys. Is this my last one? Absolutely not. I'm looking forward to that. Batman, again, depending on the price, that all is contingent to that. But so far, I'm really happy with my purchase. So let me know in the comments down below. Is quarter scale somewhat in your radar? Are you completely closing the door? Because I can understand if it's the space, the money. I totally get it. Been collecting Hot Toys for 10 years. This is my first quarter scale. So I get where you guys are coming from, but let me know in the comments down below. Again, if you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch if you like video game content. And I will see you guys in the next video.